Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, a boy named Leo loved to gaze at the night sky. Every evening, he would sit by his window and whisper secrets to the moon. One night, the moon shimmered brighter than ever before. A soft voice echoed, "Leo, I have a secret to share with you." Leo's eyes widened with surprise. The moon continued, "Far beyond the stars, there's a hidden garden where dreams are born." Leo clutched his blanket tightly. "How can I find it?" he asked eagerly. The moon smiled and said, "Follow the silver path of stardust." Leo closed his eyes and imagined the shimmering trail. When he opened them, he was floating above his bed. A gentle breeze carried him through the clouds. Soon, he landed in a glowing garden filled with flowers made of light. Each blossom held a tiny, sleeping dream inside. A little butterfly with moonbeam wings fluttered toward him. "Welcome, Leo," it chimed. "These dreams wait for children like you." Leo reached out to touch a dream flower. It burst into soft laughter and swirled around him. "Take one with you," the butterfly whispered. Leo carefully plucked a dream shaped like a dragon. As he held it, the garden began to fade. The moon's voice called, "It's time to return, Leo." He felt himself drifting back to his room. The dream dragon curled up on his pillow. Leo smiled and whispered, "Thank you, moon." The next morning, he woke to find a tiny silver scale beside him. From that night on, Leo's dreams were filled with magical adventures. And the moon? It always winked at him, knowing their secret. The end. Once upon a time, high in the night sky, there was a tiny star named Twinkle. Twinkle was smaller than all the other stars, but she shone just as brightly. One evening, she noticed something strange happening far below her. A little boy named Leo was crying by his bedroom window. Twinkle had never seen tears before, and her heart ached for him. She wished she could help, but stars were not allowed to leave the sky. Still, Twinkle made up her mind, she would find a way to reach Leo. She took a deep breath and whispered a wish to the wind. Suddenly, a friendly cloud floated by and offered to carry her down. Twinkle hopped onto the cloud, and they drifted gently toward Earth. As she landed on Leo's windowsill, her glow lit up the room. Leo gasped and wiped his tears, staring at the tiny star. "Hello," Twinkle said softly. "Why are you sad?" Leo sniffled and explained that he was scared of the dark. Twinkle smiled and said, "But the dark is where we shine the brightest." She told Leo stories of the constellations and their adventures. With each tale, Leo's fears melted away like snow in the sun. Soon, he was laughing and asking Twinkle to stay forever. Twinkle sighed and said, "I must return to the sky before dawn." Leo hugged her gently and promised to never be afraid again. Twinkle floated back up on the cloud, waving goodbye. From that night on, Leo always looked for Twinkle in the sky. And Twinkle, though small, shone even brighter knowing she had helped a friend. The end. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, lived a kind-hearted grandmother named Alara. She was famous for her magical lullaby that could soothe even the fussiest children to sleep. Every night, the village parents would bring their little ones to her cozy cottage. As the moon rose high, Alara would sit in her rocking chair and hum the lullaby softly. The moment she began, the children's eyelids would grow heavy like tiny feathers. One evening, a curious boy named Leo asked, "Grandma Alara, where does the lullaby come from?" Alara smiled and said, "It's a gift from the stars, my dear." She pointed to the twinkling sky and whispered, "Long ago, a kind star gave it to me." Leo's eyes widened as he imagined a star singing just for her. That night, as Alara sang, Leo noticed something extraordinary. Tiny sparkles floated from her lips, dancing in the air like fireflies. The sparkles swirled around the children, wrapping them in a warm, golden glow. Leo reached out, and one landed softly on his palm, filling him with peace. The next morning, Leo couldn't stop thinking about the magical sparkles. He decided to ask Alara if he could learn the lullaby too. Alara chuckled and said, "Only those with a kind heart can sing it, Leo." Determined, Leo spent his days helping others, from feeding birds to sharing his toys. One night, Alara handed him a small, star-shaped flute. "Blow into this," she said, "and let your kindness guide the tune." Leo took a deep breath and played, but no sound came out. He tried again, thinking of all the good deeds he'd done. Suddenly, a faint, sweet melody filled the air, and tiny sparkles appeared. Elara clapped her hands and said, "You've done it, Leo." From that night on, Leo and Elara sang the lullaby together. The village children slept even more soundly, wrapped in double the magic. Years later, when Elara grew too old to sing, Leo took her place. He taught the lullaby to others, spreading kindness and sleepy-time joy. And so, the magical lullaby lived on, carried by kind hearts under the stars. To this day, if you listen closely on a quiet night, you might just hear it. Perhaps it's even singing you to sleep right now. Close your eyes, dear one, and let the magic wash over you. Sweet dreams!